I guess where I'm trying to go with this is that there are moral absolutes, and that God's law indeed is there to protect you from yourself, and there are consequences if you breach that. This press conference is a consequence. And so the bottom line is this. I've been unfaithful to my wife. I developed a relationship with what started as a dear, dear friend from Argentina. It began very innocently, as I suspect many of these things do, in just a casual email back and forth, in advice on one's life there and advice here. But here, recently, over this last year, it developed into something much more than that. And as a consequence, I hurt her. I hurt you all. I hurt my wife. I hurt my boys. I hurt friends like Tom Davis. I hurt a lot of different folks. And all I can say is that I apologize. I would ask for y'all's, I guess I'm not deserving of indulgence, but indulgence not for me, but for Jenny and the boys. You know, they're a team of cameras and crews and all those sorts of things camped out down at Sullivan's Island. And I would just ask for a zone of privacy, if not for me, for her and the boys. As we go through this process of working through this, there are going to be some hard decisions to be made, to be dealt with, and those are probably not best dealt with through the prism of television cameras and media headlines. I'm committed to that process of walking through with Jenny, the boys, with the Tom Davises of the world, with the people of South Carolina, in saying, where do we go from here? I would simply say I go back to that simple word of asking for forgiveness. Just as a declarative statement, one more before we open up for a couple of questions, and then I'll move on. I've tried to think of, first step. One of the first steps is clearing out more time as we go through this process of reconciliation and figuring out what comes next. I'm going to resign as chairman of the Republican Governors Association. I'm going to tender my resignation. One, because I think it's the appropriate thing to do, given other governors across this nation, and my role as chairman of the RGA. And two, frankly, just from the standpoint of time. If I think about this process, not only does it begin at a family level, it begins with the family of South Carolinians. And so that means me going one by one and town by town to talk to a lot of old friends across the state in what I've done and indeed asking for their forgiveness. That'll take time that I probably can't devote to the RGA.